What's up? Welcome back to the NARP experiment. It's been a little while. We're here post-trade deadline and post-buyout market. We had probably more transactions go down than we thought were going to happen. We didn't get some of the bigger moves we thought were going to happen. We'll touch on that. But we had a busy day.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you were surprised happened, didn't happen?
Well, first off the bat, we're going to talk about the Kyle Lowry. I mean, it just seemed like the dude was on his way out. I think a month and a half ago, he put his house up for sale. It just seemed like he was out of Toronto. He's here in Tampa Bay, playing his home games here with the Raptors down here. So you heard rumblings in Miami. You figured maybe he'll just stay here in the Florida area and go from there.
Yeah, we saw him crying.
Right, yeah, he was crying on his way out that last game. And he wasn't even in Air Canada Center, or I don't even know if that's the name still. But yeah, like we all just expected him to be out of the door one way or another. And the fact that it didn't happen, it seems like maybe Masai Ujiri didn't find the right deal he wanted and is going to wait till the summertime. Because they can always do like a sign and trade of some sort.
A sign and trade, yeah. I feel like that's going to be it. I mean, clearly the way he was crying tells us that he... I mean, honestly,
he had some sort of assumption that he was going to be done.
I'm surprised they didn't deal him now, but I guess I do get it because if you think about it from a different team's perspective, let's say you trade for Lowry right now. He's not extended. Right. So you just get him to the end of the year, and if he doesn't like it, he can walk. He can go to another contender because he's going to go to a contender. It's clearly what he's going to do.
Right.
He just wants someone at this point.
Right.
Or else he just stay in Toronto.
Right.
But if you wait and you try to go get him at the deadline, you can do a sign and trade, and then you can guarantee yourself more than just a half a year of Lowry. So I get it from that sense, and also it would work better because maybe you can get more for him then because you're not just going off the we're only giving you a half year of Kyle, so we're not going to get a lot in return. And obviously Masai didn't like the packages they were getting offered, or else he would have been gone. So I do see it's probably going to be a sign and trade.
Yeah.
And that's the only way. I mean, he's a free agent too, so I mean, he doesn't have to do that.
Right.
But if the Sixers want him, it's going to have to be a sign and trade.
Miami.
I mean, Miami.
Because they're also Miami can sign him, but we'll see how Oladipo goes.
They're going to have to. Yep, they would have to announce their their rights to him.
Right.
And then they wouldn't have rights with him. And
they'll probably lose Duncan Robinson in the process as well. With that.
And Duncan Robinson. So it gets a little more complicated. Yeah. But I mean, my first thought, I you probably felt the same after the deadline was, wow, Toronto really dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Why didn't they get rid of him? Now they're not going to get anything.
But
no. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, we had to sleep on it quick. We had to sleep on it quick and just kind of realize that Masai Ujiri kind of knows what he's doing. He knows that he's going to get Kyle to a situation he wants to get to, but he's going to make sure he gets the most in his return because Kyle Lowry is still playing like an all-star.
Yes.
So he wants to make sure he's getting the best deal possible.
I mean, they did let Marc Gasol walk and they did let Serge Ibaka walk, which, I mean, right now doesn't really look that bad.
No, it doesn't.
How those guys look in their situations right now.
Right.
But also, you could say it the other way. The Raptors have no bigs right now. Boucher's a 28-year-old young, like
he's been awesome this year, but
wet behind his ears, you know.
Yeah.
So he's not really a long-term fit.
Yeah. Or
a long-term solution, and plus he's probably more of a backup anyway. And he looks excellent.
No, he looks awesome.
He's not really your starting five.
Right.
So.
He looks great, but no, not someone we're looking forward to start with. But a couple other deals that I think we should just mention here quickly. One that I mentioned in our last video before with our predictions, Aaron Gordon did end up making it to the Mile High City. He is a Denver Nugget. Yeah. That was my sleeper team with him. Funny enough, as we're recording, the Nuggets are about to play the Clippers. It's going to be a great game here on TNT.
This is going to be a really big game.
Yeah.
It's a regular season game, but the way that the West is right now, every team is slobber-knocking each other every
night. They're playing for every single night.
It is wonderful basketball.
That's another thing
just to touch on quick is the play-in game is improving the quality of regular season basketball this year because in a year where it's really quick and off season,
right?
and players aren't as happy. There's a lot more struggle going on this year. There's just
there's more incentive. It gives them more incentive to want to play.
Yes, but
you know what I mean?
The games are just they're still out there like hooping hard.
Right.
A lot of even these like middle tier teams.
Like you think about like the Knicks. The Knicks are playing.
Yeah.
The Knicks are 5th in the East, and then you've got the Celtics 8th. But you also still have Orlando, even with this new reconstructed team. Like they might be trying to go for the play-in, even though clearly they shouldn't. But they've been pretty competitive since their deadline.
They beat the Clippers.
Yeah. So
it's just. Any night, man.
Any night. It's any given night.
It's wonderful basketball.
It really is.
Basketball.
It's been good. But going back to Gordon, I think this is just a perfect fit. I think we knew that this was like the move that they would make as far as what was being traded off, as far as like Gary Harris. Of course, they had to give up a young asset in Hampton and another pick, but I think perfect trade otherwise. And then one more I wanted to throw out there, and I'll get your thoughts on both, is I really like the Norman Powell move for Portland. Although Portland's got Rob Cove, I think me and you have slightly talked about it in the past. He's not the greatest on-ball defender. He's a little overrated in that sense, as far as being coveted in that way. No pun intended. Covington coveted. But he definitely needed some help out there on the wings. And it's like when you're at Portland and you think about it, I mean, would you rather pay Gary Trent Jr. or Norman Powell at this point? It's honestly up to you and what you value most.
Yeah.
And honestly, they must have valued Norman Powell more. So, I mean, as far as they'd rather pay Norman Powell than Gary Trent.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I personally like Gary Trent more.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think he'll come at a cheaper price tag.
It can go either way, honestly. I mean, I'm not upset having either one. It's very close. It's not like
it's not crazy off, but I think for Portland's case to make a run, I just think Norman Powell's a tad bit more polished, that he just might be able to put them over.
Oh yeah, and he's a way better scorer, and that
exactly.
And CJ
and just as good of a defender. So
they're smaller. They're smaller guys, and there's going to be situations like if they play the Clippers, what if they just stick Kawhi and Paul George on Dame and CJ? You know, and there's situations like that, and like this is a move because you need a third guy to score when your other two guys are undersized like they are, because if you're playing the Nuggets, they have size now. They have big guys. They can stick Michael Porter's not the greatest guard defender, but they have Will Barton. They have Aaron Gordon now. They could stick those two on those guys, and then all of a sudden you need someone else who can win their one-on-ones or create in the offense, and there's Norman Powell perfectly. He can get 25 points.
Just a spark plug scorer who can defend. I mean, it's really just another perfect compliment, because Robert Covington isn't going to be the guy that does it on the wing. You're not going to ask Carmelo Anthony to do that. Yeah. And did they also give up Rodney Hood in the deal as well, I believe, right?
Yes.
Who's just been in and out due to injury. Not always his fault. Yeah, it's just not working there. So it was a good move for them as well. It also saves some cap, I believe, for the Raptors. So not having to pay that's expiring. Any guys are surprised that weren't moved also? I mean, I know we touched on Kyle Lowry. I mean, we can get into some other guys that were moved, but I mean, honestly, some of the deals, there were a lot of deals made.
Depot went to the Heat so late in the day.
Yeah.
I knew his price was going to be really low, and it was.
They were waiting for Kyle Lowry. They were on the Lowry sweepstakes and trying to figure that out, and they knew that probably Oladipo was in their back pocket, and that they were just...
I was surprised the Lakers made such a push.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. I mean, going into it, we all thought, well, they don't have anything to trade.
Right, but then you heard that news. But then you heard the news about Schroeder turning down that 4-year, $84 million extension. So then that's when you kind of toss him up in the air. Wait, so is this guy expendable? Do we need Montrezl Harrell? And as we just kind of alluded to, Toronto, we just alluded to, needs more bigs. I mean, that wouldn't have been a bad deal if you threw in Trez and Schroeder to get Lowry. I think then you find a way to get Drummond on the buyout market like they did, and that's a more complete team than what you got now. I mean, not that the Lakers aren't complete.
How do you feel about them not willing to throw in Taylor Tucker to get Lowry? Because Lowry probably re-signs with the Lakers. They probably win a ring. I mean,
at least one with those three playing, and Taylor Tucker isn't a make or break.
Exactly. I don't get it. I like him, but
I like him a lot too. But that's a perfect player.
Lowry. I like my odds as the Lakers to be able to re-sign Lowry. I like him. So,
I think that was more of a fan thing. If you had to ask me, I feel like the Lakers were just holding back behind their fans, just like they do with Caruso. They probably don't want to get rid of Caruso either. But Taylor Horton-Tucker has showed out in his brief stints this season. But I would have included him for Kyle Lowry. We're talking about a 36-year-old LeBron James. Kyle Lowry's 35. He wants to win a ring. I mean, it didn't.
What's Taylor Horton-Tucker doing for LeBron?
Right. What's LeBron? Yeah, exactly.
I love PhD. I mean, I was high on him in the draft. I was high on him on Iowa State.
I mean, dude's got tree trunks. Tree trunks for arms, bro. Tree trunks.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't get it. It's super questionable by the Lakers to not pull the trigger. If that
I understand why the Sixers didn't. I understand why the Sixers didn't, though. I understand why the Sixers didn't,
for sure.
But yeah, the Lakers, it's questionable call. The Clippers. I mean, we just got news about DeMarcus Cousins coming in on a 10-day contract.
Dude,
they also made a move for.
What are they doing?
Yeah, who else did they make a move for?
Dude, it was the Rondo. They did 2 second-rounders for Rondo.
Yeah, that was...
And granted, their second-rounders, I mean, aren't going to be the greatest, but...
No, but...
They don't have any other picks, dude.
Right.
They have nothing. They were literally sucked bone dry by Presti.
Maybe they just felt like they really needed that leadership in that locker room some way or another. And they just felt like they didn't have the voice.
Is Rondo that much of an upgrade than the current rotation they have right now?
I mean, Luke Kennard's been on a nice little tear.
Really letting that gun sound every other day.
Yeah, I miss that boy in Detroit, but he's
40% from 3 on the year and playing fine defense.
Right.
I mean, Marcus Morris he's not playing the same as he has, but these past couple of weeks he's looked great. I think
I think he's bought into his role, and he kind of looks just a little more consistent out there.
He's finally back. I mean, it's why? I mean, I just don't get it. I mean,
maybe they thought they didn't have a chance at anybody else
in the buyout
market, but
they honestly, it was desperate. It was desperation
for sure.
That they're gonna get Lakers Rondo. That's what I think they think.
Yeah, that's what they think they're getting.
Like
but Rondo's barely been on the court this year. It's kind of tough to even gauge what he's going to bring you. But I mean, playoff Rondo is a thing. We do have to respect that. We do, because he just finds a way. Like, he'll go play 35 games in the regular season, all of a sudden comes out in the playoffs, bang, you win a series 4-3 because Rondo had a crazy game or a crazy 3-game stretch, whatever. Yeah. So that is real, but like I feel like we're kind of
desperation to upgrade.
Yeah, it was. It's desperation to find a way to upgrade.
And honestly, there's a lot. There's an underlying story there too with Kawhi not extended.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could literally walk this summer. I highly doubt he does.
He ain't going anywhere. We know that. They get bounced
in the first round. Why would he stay? Because they're not going to have the space to improve the team. Marcus Morris's contract, $16 million a year. Paul George is getting a max.
Luke Kennard as well.
Kawhi gets a max, and what are they doing with the money? You know, they don't have any.
Right.
Luke Kennard's money, $16 a year too.
Yep. So
you're pretty. I mean, that's almost $100 million. That is $100.
Patrick Beverley might still be on contract, I believe, as well. So
next year, he has a player option for 13 again, I believe, or maybe. No, he does. He does.
He'll probably opt into that. So.
Man, dude, it's just. I mean, it is desperation. We need to win. We need to make sure Kawhi does not leave. That's what it is. They need to do. They're doing everything they can to win, so Kawhi doesn't leave. Because if they get bounced early again, it's not going to be good.
No.
I mean, then how do they look if Kawhi leaves and goes somewhere? I mean, where would he even go? I don't think he would leave. That's a whole nother story. If he does, I'd be shocked. But then again. I mean, with that guy, you never know.
No, you don't.
I mean, it's something to watch out for. Once the playoffs start this year, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And I would be surprised if we didn't hear more discussions about it when the playoffs start.
It's something we'll start to roll up when we get closer.
Something somewhat official, you know? Not like, obviously not like 100%.
Right, but no, we'll hear some rumblings for sure.
From the horse's mouth, but yeah.
Right.
You were saying earlier DeRozan.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't get moved. I am too a little bit. I mean, if they were shopping Aldridge, clearly they're having a sale of the vets.
Yeah.
Honestly, them not moving DeRozan tells me they might be interested in re-signing him, but I don't think he's interested.
I mean, I believe Popovich, if he's still in this thing, I believe he thinks he's got a young core in San Antonio that can play for that play-in game and push for that.
7-8 seed?
I believe they're down there at the 8. Yeah,
I know we're 8 or 7. We were 8, but we won yesterday at Mavs. So I'm not sure. I mean, they're definitely playing. They're probably going to be a playing team, and they're definitely they're starting to gel a little more.
No, for sure, and that's what I'm
The
saying.
players that they have there, the young players are taking steps forward.
I mean, Keldon Johnson has been an awesome rookie, dude. He's so much fun to watch. When he's healthy, my man Lonnie Walker looked great this year. Derek White is awesome. DeJounte Murray's great. So they got a nice young core, and just those guys. But yeah, real quick.
For me, it's just
go for it. No, go for it. Because I was gonna say one. I was gonna move on quick, but I want to hear something. Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't flip him just to get something, because I don't think he resigns there. And
Yeah.
I mean, even if they have intentions of getting him, there's other teams with cap space who could use him this offseason.
If I were the Lakers, I would
the
have
Knicks.
found a
The
way.
Knicks.
If I were the Lakers, I would have found a way.
They have the Lakers too. I mean,
Yeah.
he has. I think he's averaging 6 assists per game this year. That's his career high.
might be a
If
career
you
high,
just
yeah.
watch the games, he looks super comfortable out there.
The Spurs are
Obviously, he's not
8.
chucking
The
threes
Spurs are
or
8. The
anything,
Mavs
but
are 7 right now. That's where it currently stands. So they're in the playoffs right now with that young nucleus of
Rosen
DeMar.
looks comfy.
Yeah, he does.
So it's different with Lowry because you know that there's loyalty there. There's history. He's probably the greatest Raptor ever.
Yeah.
DeRozan, what's he got to the Spurs?
He's got nothing.
The guy who they got rid of.
They've been
Kawhi,
holding
you know?
on. Yeah, they've been holding on to him to show that we still got something out of that Kawhi deal. And I think clearly DeRozan has proven that he's still a capable scorer. He's still a positive on the court, still a positive asset, and he can do a lot for a team, especially if he's looking to win, and which I'm sure he is. Transitioning though real quick to his teammate, are we going to talk about the Nets quick? Do we got to do this? Because I feel like if we got to do this, we just got to get it out the way. Let's get it out the way. Let's talk about it briefly. 2 seconds, because this is mega team, mega. I mean, you can call it what you want. These guys aren't that good as far as Aldridge and Blake, but they're going to show out. They're playing with great players. They're just going to look great. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they're going to look good. It's going to be unfair.
Right.
Marcus Aldridge, it's going to be unfair. He's
Right.
not going to be out there dropping 30-point games, but he's going to be out there and he could easily have a 20-point game.
Yep.
He could have 30-point games.
Right.
You got to pick your poison. Are you going to let James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie cook you? No, you're
Right.
probably going to let LaMarcus Aldridge
Exactly.
do more damage before you let them do it. And
Exactly.
I mean, his defense has been horrible, but I mean, can he be worse than DeAndre Jordan? Probably not. He's going to be better offensively. He's just a better player.
Right.
He just is.
Right. And it's just going to work out for them because they have so much talent on the court. They're gonna win the East. Yeah, they're gonna still win the East. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I mean, they won the East when they got James. And to be honest, whatever they wanted to tack on and add on after, it's just adding to the riches. The rich get richer, basically. And those guys are going to show out, and they're all going to look great. And who knows, maybe because they look great playing next to these great players, they're going to end up getting contracts this summer. I mean, I highly doubt Aldridge at this point in his career, but Blake still has a chance to maybe get a 2-3 year deal at some point. Maybe not worth the money he's looking for, what he's gotten in the past, but something respectful enough to the point since he's been in the league for at least a decade. So he's at least earned that, especially if he shows out some way somehow. Last thoughts? Anything else you got? I mean, I'm thinking about any other players that I thought could move.
The quick transactions we thought. I mean, JJ Redick to my Mavs. I like that.
Yeah.
Just because we got
more shooting.
Basically.
Nope. Got more shooting.
JJ
Evan
will help spread the floor. Evan Fournier to the
Fournier
Celtics.
to the
I like
Celtics,
it.
yep.
He had a terrible first game.
Awful first game. The Celtics fans are hopefully putting that behind them.
Playoffs time comes around. You need somebody who can get a bucket for you for like 6 possessions while you give your other guys a breather. There you go.
How about this? Hamidou Diallo to the Detroit Pistons. Dude showed out in his first outing. Had like 21 points, 10 boards. He's looked great. He looks very comfortable out there. And
yeah, I mean, you want me to be honest with you? You guys might have found yourselves one of the finest tank commanders in the NBA.
In who?
One. In Hamidou.
It's fine.
He's an excellent tank commander.
It's fine.
But, I mean, you guys got tank commanders all around, but your tank commanders could go on to be privates on championship teams because if Josh Jackson reclaims his career and
dude, that man just dropped 31 points tonight against the Wizards. That's all you need to know, folks at home.
Yeah,
all you need to know. He's balling as well. Shout out to Sadiq Bey. Jeremy Grant's been on sort of a decline. Sadiq Bey's been killing it. He will be first-team All-Rookie. I said this weeks ago, probably months ago at this point.
How about the one we completely skipped over, Vooch?
Vooch. Oh God, yeah. Real quick,
Gold.
Chicago's looking awesome with that transaction. I
Yeah.
love it. I literally love it for them. I mean, this is an awesome move. They are currently right now 10th. Hopefully, this will get them that push. They are 19 and 27, 3 games behind the 8 seed, which are the Celtics. But they better hold on to that 10 seed. But I think Vooch will help them out a lot. I mean, he's just a better Wendell Carter Jr. Maybe you don't want to wait on Wendell
I
Carter
like
Jr.
getting
for Chicago.
Theis. I like getting Theis too.
Yeah, Daniel Tice was a nice acquisition as well. Yep.
My only concern is what is the next piece, because they need one more piece.
Yeah.
They need
And
one more piece. I don't know what it could be.
They are a market hub, though.
Or it could be a guard.
They are a hub.
And they do have Lauri Markkanen. They could flip at the end of the season, I'm pretty sure.
Is he restricted this year? It might be a sign and trade, is what it would have to be.
He is restricted, or maybe they match it and then they.
Right, but his name was being floated around, so there's interest there from other parties and maybe interest from Chicago to want to move on. So, I do like the addition. The addition of Voos it's going to bode well for them. I do think Chicago will make the playoffs, at least the play-in, no doubt this year.
Yeah, and I think they make some moves this offseason too. And we'll see. We'll have a better look at what they really have next year.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be Patrick Williams, it's going to be Levine, it's going to be Vooch. I don't know if the other guys are going to be the ones in their lineup next year or what exactly we're going to see. There was rumblings they wanted Lonzo, and I was actually surprised Lonzo didn't go there, didn't get moved there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Talk that they were going to do it. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up there.
Yeah, they can throw out an offer sheet, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But one more I also thought of real quick. Andre Drummond finally getting bought out. He's going to the Lakers. What do you think? That just solidifies their interior. I think it clearly just as an upgrade from Marc Gasol just at this point in his career. You're getting a more athletic player, a guy who's basically averaged 14 rebounds for his entire career. It's going to be a force of nature in there in the paint with him, AD, and LeBron. Yeah. I think it was a good move for them. So it's going to help them. It's definitely going to help them in the playoffs.
A lot of people are under the assumption that the Lakers' best lineup is AD at the 5 to spread the floor.
Yeah.
Which I would agree, but who do you have to actually spread the floor?
Right.
Who is out there that can hit threes?
There's nobody yet.
LeBron.
You create so many more mismatches with him at the floor.
Yeah, exactly. So now you need to just go with your strengths. You don't have anyone to spread the floor. You might as well just go where another guy that you can help just space the floor. Andre Drummond is a good player.
Yep.
He's always been who's the best player he's ever played with, So I guess we will find out just how good he is, Is LeBron and Andre Drummond going to work? Is it going to look? How's it going to look? How good's it going to be? How good's the lineups of Drummond, AD, and LeBron going to be? That's going to be so much size
on the court at once.
And people do hate on Drummond, but he can play defense.
Right. And let's see what happens when he plays with a playmaker like LeBron James. Let's see what really happens. I'm not going to say it's going to unlock another level of Drummond, but clearly he's playing with one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest, and it's just clearly going to bode well for his game. But I think that'll do it here from us folks at the NARP Experiment. Please drop down in the comments below if you guys got some other players we missed, or if you were surprised by some players not being moved. Drop their names in the comments and give us some feedback. We love to hear it. So we are out.
Peace.